What's going on, everyone? This is Sheets, and we're going to be doing a couple of things. Hope you guys are having a good night. We're going to take a look at the baseball lobbies, see who's doing well. Uh, spoiler alert, it's not me. Um, and we're going to see if we can analyze them using some different tools that we have at our disposal, which I really still struggle to figure out the best way to use these tools. We're going to take a look at the SaberSim Live contest look. We're going to take a look at the PayDirt contest analyzer. And again, the reason I enjoy that part of it is I do think that one thing that's missing from the DFS world is the right level of excitement among people that are rooting, like for their own lineups and even for others. But, DraftKings and FanDuel, they announce what you're winning in these lineups, but it doesn't really capture how live some of these lineups are or aren't. And I feel as though, they should be able to do a better job of that. And with the advent of the contest analyzers and the contest sims and all that stuff, I know that the math and the data exists to do a little bit better with respect to predicting how lineups are actually doing, as opposed to just looking at what's up here on the board. So we're going to try to continue to do that, and then maybe we'll do a little bit of tennis also. I'll just kind of see what kind of mood I'm in. So we're going to focus here on this relay throw. And for those that have not been following the slate, I mean, the slate is pretty much over. This Baltimore Tampa game and to some degree this Toronto game, Toronto performance has just basically destroyed the slate. There are certain things that could happen, but they put 20 runs up in this game, and it was very home run centric. So this is what you're going to need, honestly, to win the lottery here. But what's interesting is that it's not like that many points. The pitching has not been that great, but still these are the lineups that you're going to need. So as far as like people that are in the clubhouse, so to speak, I mean, this guy's got 178 points. And then CKK, who is obviously he's one of the better players nowadays. He's live, and this was a really tough click to make. I'm sure, and this is one of those that you need to just kind of have the faith in the Sims and just not even worry about who you have and not even look, because this Cincinnati game was in like some serious danger of raining out. And if you asked me at lock the chances that Nick Lodolo could go 6 innings in a game, I would say almost zero. So to be able to have the balls to play him, that was not even the balls to do it. I know how this worked. Okay, I've done this before. What CKK did, and I don't know him personally, but I know the way he plays is he didn't really worry about his takes or what he thought or anything like that. You trusting your process, you're trusting your numbers, and Lodolo was part of a team that had not been ruled out yet, and the ownership pretty much came in just as expected, about 5%. And pretty much all the other pitchers except for Salo busted. So this would be pretty cool if he could actually pull this off. He's going to need 12 more points. I don't even know if he's still in the game coming in. So so that's him. And aside from that, let's see who else we have. Okay, so he's live. He's got 12 PMR left, and he's got a couple of Astros still going, and he's only 17 points behind. So I guess this is why you have to look down here and see what's live. So here, Valdez, and I had a feeling this was going to be the case. He's just been putting up a lemon here. 1 strikeout through 3. and a walk, 4 hits. I mean, he's basically already busted. You know, that's the way that is. And I guess these games can blow up as well. I had one that was in 9th, but that has nothing left. You know, so let me take a look and see at something, because there's one lineup on FanDuel that I have a chance. It's only if Cleveland then just continues. If Cleveland starts exploding somehow, I'm going to go back to this one. They only have 4 runs. If somehow they have 8 runs after the next couple innings, I'm going to take a look. But aside from that, this is pretty dead. But let's take a look at some of these tools here to see if we can't do a better job of analyzing these lobbies, as opposed to just, trying to guess who's alive. Now, again, I just don't know I'm doing this right. So within SaberSim, within this contest tab, you click on relay throw, and then you're supposed to see all these lineups here. Here's the leaderboard, but I want it rated in the right way. So let's see if I hit users. Well, let's collapse this one. And let's see if we can rank these by, say, live sim ROI. That'd be a good way to look at it. So it looks as though the Sether Mobilis with only one, oh my God, with only 1 entry. Are these real? This is crazy. Oh, this is just ROI. This is for all of his entries, I guess. So that's the way this is looking at it. So this guy, Floyd, has only 2 entries, and he's in first place. Is that the story? That's sort of nuts, isn't it? But this is the live sim average. So this is probably what we want to look at. So these 2 guys, Jeff and okay, so these guys. So here, CKK, he has a pretty good live sim average, but tee it up. I'd like to look at it by lineups, though. I don't want to look at it by users. How do I do this? How do I look at this by lineup to see? How about leaderboard? Okay. All right, here we go. This is just the leaderboard here. So this one, let's look at it by, again, by live sim ROI. And it's updating. So these are live projections. So Jeff, even though Jeff's in first place already, but they're still projecting him to be the winner, I think. Let's just see here. Live projection. Yeah. So the problem here is baseball is kind of funny like this. It's not like basketball where that a player is going to be in for another 12 minutes and probably get somewhere between 11 and 15 fantasy points. In baseball, it's not so easy because you're going to get 0 or something bigger. So it's just a little bit harder to predict in this way. You want to take a look at mine? Let's look at it by users, I guess. And let's look at my lineups and see if we can't. So here we're winning 555 average, winning, losing $345. So this doesn't really do much for me. Did have 57 unique lineups. That is sort of interesting, I guess. Yeah. Let's take a look at the another way to look at it. Let's see if we can't use this pay dirt contest analyzer to draw some conclusions here. So here we have the contest, and this was, see, the thing is, this doesn't update dynamically. This one I had to actually manually put in here. And let's just see. I'm going to have to see contest analysis. All right. So contest analysis, actual points, actual own. Is it going to tell me predicted? No, it's not, I think. But this Floyd dude, I mean, with 2 entries, that'd be sick. If you can get that done. Now, what is this entry that we've heard so much about? Oh, so this was with Lauer, 26 fantasy points. Ouch. I wasn't getting there with that. That's for sure. Okay. Anything going on in FanDuel here? It doesn't look like it. Let me just see real quick. Squirrel Patrol with 252 points. I don't know. This one might do something. You think this is good? Let's see. So in the squeeze, I have this one. It's in 176th place. I got 181 points, and I got 20 innings left. It means I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Indians. I got these 4 Indians, and I have to make up 70 points. So that's just not happening, right? Okay. Unless somehow that goes to 2 extra innings and things like that. Okay. So what we're going to do is 2 things. One is we are going to do some PGA lineup builds. And the other thing that we're going to do is we'll do tennis. You've got D-Pope in here because D-Pope is saying, how can I get better at tennis DFS? And he came on earlier and asked about that as well. And tennis is sneaky. Tennis is sneaky tough. You know, it seems like a nice, easy sport to play, but it's not so easy to win. Simply because the projections in tennis are trivially easy to make, even for someone who's not particularly data driven. You know, one day I'll do a tutorial on how to do it for tennis, but it's very simple to do. So because of that, you're not going to get a lot of variations between what projections people use to play DFS contests in tennis. So you're going to see people congregating around the same place. So then what it becomes is a lineup construction game, and playing a lineup construction game is very difficult. You know, you have to be able to walk that tightrope between being different and not being too different where you have no chance to win. And that's what makes it hard, and it makes it fun as well. So all I can tell you is, D-Pope, is that, I mean, I'll just show you my process and a couple of ways to maybe tweak it, and then that's really all I have for you. You know, it's not easy. It's just not easy because of all the reasons that I just said. But first, let's do PGA, and we're going to do both the classic slate and the showdown slate. And we're going to do the showdown slate for DraftKings and the classic slate for both DraftKings and FanDuel. So we're going to start with the classic slate for DraftKings. So again, the first thing that you're going to want to do if you're going to use SaberSim is you're going to want to make sure that your contests are loaded, that you're already playing. So you're going to put your dummy lineups into, say, DraftKings, and you're going to upload them. And so what it's going to do is it's going to populate them over here, so that when you run your contest sims, like, all this data is going to be saved. So what you now have to do at this point is you have to decide what projections you are going to use. Now, depending on how you're accessing SaberSim, whether it be through, externally, or whether it be through, say, the TrueDFS interface or whatever, depending on how much you pay, you get certain different views. Like some places you can only see, SaberSim's projections. Sometimes you could see you know, what, let's say if you're subscribed through Run Pure or through which was Ship It Nation, you get to see their projections. TrueDFS, you get to see the TrueDFS projections. And then if you get to see multiple ones, then you get the chance to average them if you want to do that. Or you could always upload your own projections. So that's the first question that we're going to have to ask is which projections we're going to use. And I am going to, for this demonstration, use the TrueDFS projections, which are, I mean, I consider those mine. Goldie has his as well, but when I say TrueDFS, these are the ones that I kind of create. So that's the first decision in which projections you're going to use. Well, the first one was what contest you play, but I've already done that. So what I'm going to do is pretend that you're operating not within the TrueDFS interface, but within the regular just SaberSim. So in that case, we're going to have to actually upload these manually. And unfortunately, oops, I don't want to do baseball. That's nice. I was about to upload the baseball projections. But we're going to upload from, I just keep these off-site. I'm going to call this one Classic. So what it's going to do, it's going to put my own fields in here. I don't know why I need standard deviation of ownership in here, but whatever, it's in there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to automatically create custom fields from ownerships. And what that is going to do, we're going to call it Sheets Final. Is what this is going to do is it's going to take my ownerships and it's going to create a 5,000 lineup field based on that. And the reason for that, it's going to give us another option when it comes to running our contest sims. Because after we build our lineups, we're going to have to, we're going to run the sims and we're going to have to pick what contests, what fields we're predicting that people are going to play. What exposures the fields are that people are going to play. And you have a lot of choices, so we created a field for that. So like, for example, when you go back into contests here, if you haven't even run anything yet, like for all of these contests, it gives you a choice for what field to use as the representative field. Now, SaberSim usually has these defaults based on its back testing. So we're going to keep those, I think, for the bigger buy-ins. But for the lottery, I mean, I like my ownership projections for here, so I'm going to change that to Sheets Final. So when it gets to actually building the contest fields, we're making that choice to use that for the contest fields. Okay. So we'll go back into this build here. We've already populated it with our projections. And one thing that you will notice is that when you compare my projections to SaberSim's, they're almost all lower. Okay. Actually, all of them are lower. You see that? Like when everything is in red, that means that it's lower than SaberSim's. And there are definitely some reasons for that. SaberSim just operates on a bigger scale usually. In general, they just usually project for more overall fantasy points, which is okay. It doesn't matter. I don't want to say it doesn't matter too much. It always matters, but I'm good with that. I'm good with this idea here. And as far as ownership goes, again, this will indicate how far ahead or behind SaberSim's ownership I am. Okay, like one real big difference is that SaberSim is projecting that Scottie Scheffler is only going to be 25% owned, where I'm going to have him at 35. Okay, well, I'm going to project him at 35. And that's a big difference, but you know what? I feel very confident in that. Okay, I just feel very confident that mine are better. So that's one of the reasons I'm replacing them. Okay. No changes in anything else. and no changes in projections for any of the players aside from what I've done already, and no pre-build rules. In other words, I'm not saying I want a minimum of X percent of XYZ, whatever it is. If I do that, it's going to be after we build. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to build 5,000 lineups, and then we're going to look at them in a couple of ways. It shouldn't really take that long. Now, again, this is not your normal, thing that you see as far as content goes. We're not talking about who the best plays are at this point. Thinking about how to build. So we've done this, and we built 5,000 lineups, okay? And it's showing the top 154. So what is that? Why 154? Because I'm playing 154 lineups, and SaberSim knows that. Because I've uploaded my contests in here. Playing 150 in the lottery, 1 in the Mega Snowman, 1 in the par 4, and 2 single entries. So it's rating the top 154 by what? Well, by Saber score, and specifically by this Golf Main 10K to 50K Saber score metric. And when you click on the eyeball, it'll show you what this means. And not to get too into the weeds here, but the two key functions that you can take heart in knowing that they're in there is the second one, where it says plus percentile 0.99, which basically means that it's considering what the 99th percentile outcome of these lineups are going to be, not just the median. And then the other thing you'll notice is at the end of the function, it says minus 0.5 times average adjusted ownership. So what that's doing is telling you that it is considering the ownership factor in these lineups. And the other thing you'll see is that you're getting a min uniques 2 in this group. Okay, even though it says min uniques 1 up here, what this means it's getting min uniques 2 overall. So if we want to just kind of go with this, or if you had like the type of package where you couldn't run sims after this is the exposures that you would see, and you could look at this if you want. This would be 83% Scotty Scheffler, 46% Aaron Rai, 42% Siwoo Kim, right down the road. But I think that we can improve upon that by running the contest sims. And again, all that's doing is taking these 5,000 lineups and telling SaberSim, you know what? Compare all the different outcomes of these 5,000 lineups compared to what we think the field is going to play in each of the contests that I'm playing, and then just see how they do from an ROI perspective. When you're actually comparing them to what we think other people are going to play. And this is the battleground right now in DFS is how to create good fields, how reliable they are, certain flaws. And I will say that, as I've said before, it's a field that's really in its infancy. And I do know this, that 5 years from now, if people are still doing this, that the contest sims will be light years better than they are now, for a lot of reasons. But yet still, I think it's better to just, to do this than to not do this. So when we hit contest sim, run contest sim, remember what it's going to do here. It's comparing all these lineups to these various contest fields that we've identified. Again, I'm playing the sand trap. I've already told it to use that Sheets Final field that I created myself for that contest. And then for these contests, we're going to use SaberSim's, pre-back tested fields. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. and you see 0 of 5 completed. That's because I'm playing 5 contests, so it's simulating these lineups against 5 different contest fields. And one thing I believe you'll see is the exposures change to some degree. And let's take a look. Okay. So as you can see, Scotty Scheffler, although he's still high owned, it's been tapered off somewhat, to 61% as opposed to 80. So at this point, I mean, you're already kind of well ahead of the game. You could probably just go ahead and enter these lineups like one contest at a time, if that's the way you want to enter them. But for me, I mean, golf has so much variance that I wouldn't mind, doing some more smart diversification here a little bit. So what I'll do is, while we probably have, a minimum of 1 different or 2 different golfers from each lineup, in each lineup, from each other, I want to do a little better than that. I want to do more min uniques. So what we're going to do is we're going to test this portfolio if I use min uniques 2, min uniques 3, etc. And the way we have to keep an eye on this is what doing that will do to these average, metrics. So what this is are just kind of an analysis of what the 154 lineups are together. And this one says like the average projection is 463. This is a minimum ROI of 44.7. All right. Median ROI 51, whatever. So we got to keep an eye on what happens to these lineups as I crank up the min uniques here. So what we're going to look for are a big drop in the average projection, and then we'll notice stop. Or I think I don't want to have an ROI of in my lineups of less than 0. So let's keep an eye on that too. So let's go to min uniques 2. I imagine it's not going to affect it at all. Let's go to min uniques 3. Let's go to min uniques 4. Yeah, so when you go to min uniques 4, you get some negative ROI lineups, so I don't want that. So let's go to min uniques 3, and I think that we should be in good shape here. Okay. So what we're going to do to fill these, we can really just fill these kind of one at a time. But it's fine. We'll fill all these at the same time. I'm not going to worry too much about autofill versus direct fill at this point. That's more advanced SaberSim stuff. I'm just going to just directly fill all these contests, but I am going to make sure that I have something different in each one. So let's, oops, what did I do? Direct fill, let's save these. So they're all saved. And we're going to put these in for now, okay? But there's one more thing I'm going to do with these lineups, which I'm doing for the first time. Not really. The first time with golf is I'm going to employ the Pater Portfolio Manager tool. I'm not particularly thrilled with my PGA Classic results, so I'm looking to make a change. And so one of the things I am going to start doing is using this portfolio management tool to kind of tweak things a little bit, and just show you how to do that. But before I do that, let's do the same process with FanDuel. I mean, and because we've already shown what we're going to do, we could rifle through this pretty quickly, right? So we'll upload the file, same as before. We'll save our custom contest field. Call this Sheets Final. Boom. And then again, we're going to go into contests. We'll check on the baseball in a few minutes. We'll change this field. Oops. Sorry. We'll change this field lineups from high stakes MME or whatever this is to the custom one. Field lineup sheets final. We'll keep that. The other one for high stakes MME. And again, we're just going to blast through this again. So build lineups. I'm going to be very curious to see how this portfolio manager thing works out, which we're going to get to in a minute. Okay, so again, well, may as well take a look. Wow, 100% Scotty Scheffler. But let's see what happens. We're going to run the contest sims. And I wouldn't be surprised if we still don't have 100% Scheffler. I mean, this tournament is very conducive to stars and scrubs anyway. And FanDuel's pricing is usually conducive to stars and scrubs. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did get 100% Scheffler. Let's just take a look. Yeah, we're still getting 100% Scheffler, which unfortunately I'm going to accept. So let's do again Min Uniques thing. Let's just make sure that see what we can do here to crank this up a little bit. 10. Even still, that was a pretty big drop. Let's see what happens when we go to Min Uniques 5. Yeah, so then we went into the negatives. So now we go to, so this is sort of interesting. So when you go to Min Uniques 4, then the Scheffler ownership is now down to 61%. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and save these as is, or as are, as is. And then we'll go ahead and put these in here. Want to do the portfolio manager tool, or do you want to do the showdown first? Let's do the okay, let's do the let's do the showdown first. Okay, and we'll do the same thing. Okay, so let's go showdown round 1. This round one showdown. Okay. Let's upload projections. And for this one, we used a different thing. We're calling this PGA Sim. Oh, it's spreadsheet PGA Sim, right? Okay. And then create custom fields. Same thing. Sheets final. Boom. Same thing as before. We'll go into contests, which are already preloaded. And for the pitch and putt only, we will change that to sheets final. And then rebuild. And once again, we operate at kind of a lower scale than SaberSim. As far as just overall projections. And once again, we will run the sims. And this is what I consider kind of the standard process, for everything. Have a good set of projections, have a good set of contest fields, or good enough, I guess, and just kind of just crank. And, make some smart min unique decisions, things like that. So let's, again, let's see what this did. We're getting 0 Scheffler, which is, I like that actually. Why do we only have 25 lineups though? That's a little odd. So let's take 51 lineups then. Okay. 51 lineups. We will save these to the contests appropriately. And then we will put these in. Okay, so under normal circumstances, this is the end of the process, okay? But I want to screw around with the portfolio manager tool. So let's first pull this up. And it's technically in beta, but I'm still going to mess around with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some of the portfolio management tools and sort of the testing, hopefully improve kind of all of these lineups. So what we're going to do is we are going to test not just, let's go back to Classic for a second. 8 a.m. We're going to test not just the top 150, but what we're going to do is we're going to test the top 500. Well, top 150. So we'll put 500. Boom. And then we're going to save these, like all 500 of these lineups. And we're going to call these something. First of all, we're going to clean it up because Pater needs to look at it a certain way. And we're going to call these, what do you want to call them? Pater 500 maybe? Pater 500, we're going to call it Classic, okay, because we're going to do this for the Classic slate. Okay. So these are the lineups that we're going to test, but because we're downloading them from SaberSim, we have to kind of tell it what to do here. And we also have to upload projections, okay? So fortunately, I've already done this. So let's put these files up here. So we're going to pull up the CSV file. What this is doing is it's really telling Pater to translate SaberSim speak into DraftKings speak, okay? And then we'll go into projections. And what we're going to do is we're going to upload my projections, my ownership projections and things like that. Projection Classic, that's what I'm calling it. So this has all my numbers in here. And then we're going to do is we are going to upload the lineups that we just said, these Pater Classics. And with any luck, ooh, what happened? Hold on. Does that not look good? Portfolio lineup laid successfully. Let me see what this looks like. Pater Classic. This is no good. Doesn't like these, huh? Pater Classic. SaberSim, just IDs. Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping this would work, but it doesn't look like. It says successful, but yeah, so this is my bad. Not testing this first. Second time in a row this has happened to me. That I did this before testing it. Let's try one more time. Should be right? Only, first of all, let's put the projections file in first. Let's do this again. So let's go CSV template. Actually, let's pull this up. This is the template, right? Salary. This looks right to me, right? And then projection file. This should be right? Kevin Yu. This looks good, no? And then SaberSim here. Shouldn't this be, why is it not? Well, just for fun, let's test it using just the regular. Let's see if we did using the Saber Sim, I mean the DraftKings format, that would help. DK format. Is that going to help? It should, right? What does that look like? Nothing they found in there either. Portfolio file. Okay, so no, actually, this is going to be DraftKings here. Let's see. DK format. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. So there's no stack columns, but I shouldn't need a stack column because is this going to matter? Let's just see. Golf. Shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, so I don't know why it's not letting me update the portfolio. So let me just for the hell of it. Nah, I can't do it. So again, unfortunately, another failure. I don't know what else to say. Let me just see if he's around. There's no way he's around. But there's no reason why this shouldn't work. He said something before that there's got to be a certain order of operations, maybe? Like if you do the projections first, is that what he said? I'm supposed to be able to Saber Sim just IDs. Let's put these in like this. Okay, so it's missing a CSV file. That's fine. And then CSV classic. But it's just not showing. It's not showing them for some reason. Well, what if, again, let's just do nothing else except put the DK format in, and it's not looking at this either. Let's do one more time. Golf, classic, well, that shouldn't make a difference. DK format. It's saying load DKFD file. Let me just make sure this looks good. I don't know what else to say. It's supposed to look just like this, right? DK entries. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so I guess the last thing I want to do is I am going to build the tennis lineups, and I was going to use PayDirt for this as well. Let me just see if he can pop in here real quick. Any? Let's see if he responds. Okay. Let's go ahead and build our tennis stuff just to kind of show what the how I'm playing tomorrow. And we'll take one more look at the baseball, and then we'll just be done with it. So unfortunately, there's no real secret other than what I said before. You know, you have a good set of projections and run the sims properly with min uniques, and that's really all I have for you. You know, like, so it's unfortunately going to be pretty boring at this point. We're just going to upload. Well, let's make sure I have everything. Well, okay. First thing, let's put our contests in. Oh, he's awake. Okay. Okay, good. So where is the link? Let's see. There he is. So invite guests. Okay, let's see if we can get in there. So it looks like he's coming in. Hey, James. You there? You hear me?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, so I went through my whole process of building both Showdown and Classic. And then I got to the point where what I wanted to do is I wanted to test what I had against, you know, some of the metrics on the Portfolio Manager, and I just kind of failed. So I want to just kind of just show you what I did.
All right. So before anything else,
yeah,
go hit the clear data button.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So now again, order of operations. We want to do the CSV template first.
Yep.
Okay. So first thing we did was I created this thing CSV Classic. It's for the Classic slate. This looks normal. This looks good, right?
Yep, looks great.
Okay. Then the projections. I did one just for Classic.
Sick.
So it looks like this.
Okay.
Okay. And then what I want to do is test the SaberSim ones files. And I call this one.
Click the X really quick. Nope. Kill that.
No. Yeah. You use SaberSim just IDs, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then I went and I did this, and I get this.
Scroll down. Wonder why. Send me your files.
Yeah, and I'll show you what they look like. First of all, I literally just cleaned it up. It was just like this. I mean,
yeah, those look fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm putting in. And to that point, also, I'll send it to you anyway if you want.
Oh, no. I mean, look, your stuff can load there. Click the X on that Pay Dirt Counter Classic. Try to load that again. Oh, okay. Can you open up that file again for me?
Yep. Where is it? Where's the one?
Second one?
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, close that.
And just to show you one other thing that I did, I just wanted to even just test it with just the DraftKings version.
Yeah.
And even with like all this gone.
Make sure you hit clear data.
Yeah, even with all this gone, I created one with just in the DK format.
And well, that one's not going to load because you still have SaberSim on just IDs there.
Oh, no. Okay, so
kill that, clear data.
So we're still getting this.
What does the DK format one look like?
Yeah, I'll show you.
This is a fun part of having an experimental tool. Is
yeah, no, it's all good. I'm glad to do this. Where am I? PGA. Yeah, just that.
Huh. Wonder why those are breaking.
Yeah.
Are these saved as CSVs?
Yep.
Yeah. Send those to me in Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
To
I'm gonna do that. Let's do that right now, actually.
Because I had somebody else who was having some issues too.
Okay, good. CSV Classic, Pater Classic. I'm just gonna send you everything that was relevant for that.
Yeah. Send me all three.
For that. Well, I'm sending the CSV for the Classic, the projections for the Classic, Pater, and then the two things. Okay. And then what did you say? Okay, boom. Forget to hit enter. There it is. Okay, there it is.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. So let's see.
And
I wonder if it's because you have G up here as the headers. I wonder if that's why.
I've never used the golf. I've never used it for golf before, so maybe that. So which file should I change? All of them?
So one sec. Because I'll be able to, obviously figure out what's going on here.
Yeah.
Just turn on some elevator music for a second,
No, that's fine. No, I'm gonna do I'm gonna try to do it with the showdown also. CSV template.
Good. Porsche Classic. CSV Classic. All right. So let's see here. CSV Classic. Yep, that looks fine. SaberSim. Already have golf loaded up here. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna do it for showdown too, and we'll see.
When we try to load the portfolio file, load SS.
And I'm gonna do the same thing with the showdown to see. Let's do it for showdown too.
No idea.
Lineups golf. Browse file. Make this SaberSim just, and then where'd that thing go? Over here.
None of your IDs match the IDs over in that SaberSim file.
Say that again?
None of your IDs match anything that's in your salary file.
Okay. Let me try something else. Let me try. So you think my CSV file is wrong?
Yeah, I think CSV file's wrong. Why don't you just go download it from DraftKings, man?
No, because I have them. No, my CSV file is. Okay, you want to do it from there? Let's go ahead. Let's do that then. So
Yeah.
So let's go to golf and then classic. Like from here, you mean?
No, go to the lobby and go to a PGA contest and just go download the salaries. Right? Go to draft now. Like, just go to any of those. Right?
I'm there. I got you.
Yeah.
So then, what we don't want showdown. Oh my God, what the hell's my problem? Okay, so just anything here, right?
Yeah, just any of them. Yeah.
So enter.
Yep. And then go create a new lineup. And then just export CSV.
Okay, and we'll use this one, you're saying?
Yeah, that should work.
So that's going to be the CSV file to use.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this.
Clear the data.
Clear data. And then okay. And then we'll go back to projection files. It's just IDs, browse files, pay dirt 500. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
So okay, so then we would go, as I was saying, to manage portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just wanted to just like do a little bit better than just sort by ROI. So instead of just me entering my top 150 ROI lineups, I downloaded the top 500. And what I was just gonna honestly do is just kind of sort them by lineup edge or something, you know.
So I actually added in a whole bunch of new features here.
Let's do it.
So you can do some new kind of cool custom export building here.
Okay.
Something that I think that would be really good for PGA is like if you're thinking about your groups, like say that you want to do like AM, FM, like AM, PM splits or something like that, right?
Well, this is actually kind of weird. Look at why are some of these salaries above 50,000?
Well, that's a good question. That is a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see why that is. Are those...
I mean, these are straight from, I'll pull up again. These were...
Hold on. One second here. Oh, wait, did you have golf selected at the top?
I might not have.
Go up. Yeah,
I
did.
did.
All right.
Let's just see. So here, just to show you again, this is just the regular SaberSim.
Yeah. I don't doubt that you did that, right? You're a smart guy.
Well, and all these salaries you'll see are accurate. So let's resave this.
Is your projections file right? Because the CSV was wrong.
Question. Let me just,
because it matches your salaries, your medians, and your ownership off your projections file, not off the CSV file.
Yeah. Let me see that one. Let's see where that would be. I know where that would be. I'm just gonna do another one. Hold on. Let's do a fresh one. Hold on a minute.
Let's see.
E G.
Yeah, your projection salaries are off, my man. Kevin Yu is 6,400 on DraftKings. He's 6,700 in your projections file.
Okay. Hang on. AB, AA. Okay. 1 sec. Shouldn't take more than 30 seconds. Yeah, that's not out of the question.
Boop, 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 boop. It's all good. I was working on stuff late anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I was. Yeah, the other thing I was doing, I was doing using the contest analyzers, trying to analyze the baseball slate.
Yeah.
And we could look at that too in a second. Hold on. All right. Before I put this in again, let me just make sure I'll use the Kevin Yu one as an example. Wow, that's so weird. So he is 60. He is 6,700. He's 6,400, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
He sure is. Why? Okay. 8 a.m. Kevin Yu. Let me just make sure I have this right before I run this again. Kevin Yu 6,400. Oh, I know. You know what? Why am I so dumb? Okay. It's not that I'm dumb. I'm just stupid. Listen. All right. Okay. This is not a problem. It's like what they said about my basketball teams. We may be small, but we're slow.
Right. Yeah. It's important to make sure that you give yourself credit.
Okay, let's see. Good, and then we'll run this again. And this should be no problem. Oops. One thing I promise you, one of these lineups is definitely winning.
Yeah.
That's like for sure.
Well, yeah, after you put in this much effort, you know.
It's like the opposite of yesterday. Yesterday I won 100,000 putting like no effort in. Literally nothing. I built my lineups as a 4 p.m. projections. Went to the Yankee game, didn't even check to see if my lineups were accurate. Then I came back and ran pure. I'm really good at the running pure part. All right, there it is. Okay, so all right, projections look good.
I had to answer some questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about who's that, Marianne? Okay.
This is Margaret. She's tired.
I apologize.
I don't usually stream at 11 p.m., so
I was really confused.
Yeah. Okay, so let's redo the projection.
We're gonna answer this question and
then you can go.
Sorry.
Yeah. Love you, baby.
Love you.
Let's go back. Where is where are those projection files again?
Back to your data load.
Back to data load. Okay,
clear out the files. Hit the little X's.
But wait, I want to get the template again. Okay. Well, and your models only had Scheffler like 40 points higher than number 2 guy this week.
Oh yeah, that's not that bad. It's not too high.
That's it.
His odds are just so much better than everyone else, especially in a no-cut event. It's so hard. Not. I was surprised when I saw that he was only like 10 points above everyone else over on Roto Grinders.
Yeah. Median. Use this. This and then ownership. This everybody. Forget Johnny Vegas. Okay. Oops. Projections are good. And let me, hold on. So we're going to call this again Projection Classic or something, whatever I was calling this. Projection Classic. We're going to replace that. And what we're going to do also, just to show that I can do this correctly, let's put the right CSV template in so I don't have to download it, because I really don't have to download it from DraftKings when I do this right.
Yeah, technically you don't have to do the template every time for the CSV. You can just do the one straight from DraftKings if you have it.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then let's just get these IDs right.
Yeah, because unlike the projection file, the reason why the template's important for the projection file is because the headers are really, really important, and people have a million different ways of naming fantasy points or names versus players or whatever.
Okay.
For DraftKings, all it's doing for the CSV, it's just looking for name, ID, and pretty much that's it. And then for FanDuel, it's looking for nickname and ID. And as long as it can find those headers, then it's happy. So you can upload from DraftKings just straightforward.
Okay.
Because it'll always have those.
CSV Classic. Okay. So, as I was saying, okay, first, actually, before we do anything, clear data.
Damn straight. Yep.
Okay. Browse files. CSV Classic. Boom. Projection file next. Browse files. Projection Classic. Boom. Portfolio file. Let's go back to that projection, that 500 one, which was somewhere. Not revised. Well, yeah, sure. Revised. Why not? Okay. So everything's in.
Happy day. Yep.
Happy day for now. Let's go to manage portfolio. Okay.
Happy day.
And everything's over 550,000. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's also good is now I don't have 37 dupes, which I was showing before.
Yeah.
Which was nice. Okay, so now where do we go?
All right, so something that I just built into this that is going to be really cool is one. Did you ever use the trimming function before?
You showed me how to use it the other day.
All right, so I rebuilt it a bit.
Okay.
It's new. So this is pretty cool now. What you can do is, like, first off, let's just change the trimming variable to weighted ownership to weighted own instead of own, the drop down for weighted own.
Yeah, I gotta find it. Oh,
you got
okay.
this.
There it is. Okay.
And then go down there and just trim just with that.
Like this threshold range here?
Nope, just go down below and say trim.
Okay.
So see how that gives you 21 lineups?
Yeah.
That does what's called a strict trim. So that is going and saying, all right, here's the median and here's the weighted own. And whatever the weighted own is, I don't want, or whatever the median is, if the median goes down, the weighted own also has to go down. So you can see that it's sequential on both.
Oh, yeah, you showed me this. Right,
yes.
Right. Okay.
So now go up and reset the portfolio. So it's right below data load. So this will just reset your portfolio back to normal. Now you see that trim slack thing? Just click the plus up there once. So this is going to give it 10% slack. So now go down there and trim it. So now you have 150 lineups. Now it's still going to be looking to reduce the weighted own, but it's not going to be as strict. So as you can see, the median is going down. And if you scroll down a bit, you're going to see that the weighted own is also going down, but it's not near as strict as it was before.
Right.
Now it's just trying to find, as it continues to go down, some lower and lower weighted ownership. And then as you get down there to the bottom, towards like the bottom of this median range, you'll see the weighted own continues to go down. It's just not quite as strict.
Gotcha.
So this is really, really nice for, especially for MME, where if you have different scenarios, or say that you were for baseball, right?
Okay.
Say that you were building out a portfolio of 150 lineups. If you were to trim all of your Houston stacks or something like that, then you'd only get like 9 of them or whatever, right? Like it's going to be hard to fill out a portfolio with that. So with this, now you actually have the ability to fully fill out a portfolio by trimming team by team or stuff like that. The other thing that you can do here, right? So go ahead and reset the portfolio again. So obviously, Scotty Scheffler is like gonna be highly owned again, right?
Yep.
So something you can do is go to the micro filter options, which is right above trimming options. It's another one of the drop downs. And let's just say, like, let's lock in Scotty here, right? Let's just see all the lineups with Scotty. And then submit. So you have 210 lineups with Scotty. So now go down there and go ahead and do a trim. Just trim those lineups. All right, we got 152. Okay. So now go see that button that says add to custom export. Okay. So now what you've done is you've started to create an export file with all of those trimmed lineups for Scotty. Now what we do is then we reset the portfolio again. And this time, instead of locking Scotty, remove him from your lineups. Then submit that, and then trim that set. And then go up and add that to your custom export. So now above that, where it says display.
What did we do?
Okay. So what we just did was we took a subset of Scotty lineups, all Scotty, right?
Yeah.
That's one scenario that you have. And we trimmed those down to where we only had lineups that made sense in terms of median and weighted ownership.
Okay.
And then we reset it, and then we removed Scotty, and we put together another scenario that doesn't rely on Scotty anymore. And then we trimmed those, and we made those so that they are appropriate in terms of median and weighted ownership. So now in your export, in your custom export, you have a very clear delineation between 2 different types of scenarios that you need to win. So if you go for your display, right now it says portfolio. Look at your export base, and then that's going to show you all the lineups that you just made.
Right.
Half of them with Scotty Scheffler, half of them without.
Right.
And now you have a very clear, like, kind of difference of scenarios in your portfolio, right? Like you know what you need in one of them and what you are fading in the other.
Right.
But both sets of lineups are ownership justified, which is a really important part of it, right? Like it's better than just, optimizing with Scotty in one set and without him in another. Like this set of lineups actually has him as removed from the equation in half of them.
And so when I hit download portfolio here, it's just going to take those that I just created.
Yep.
Okay. And now I can mess around with whatever I want with these.
Yep.
Okay. I want to save these, as I do know what I'm going to do with these. But I want to go back to this thing, and then I'll let you go. But just to show you what I was doing here.
Yeah.
With the contest analyzer. So I had it in here actually.
I was actually watching you fuck this up earlier, and I meant to text you.
Oh, please. Okay.
Okay. So you wanted to look at today, right?
I want to look at the relay at the relay throw.
Okay. Select date.
Oh no, I got to the right spot. I got to the right spot.
Well, that's 6/19.
No. I know. No. I got here. And then I was able to get to the contest fee, but I didn't get it from here. I got it from here. We could do it this way.
Yeah. So you do that, and then it'll download it for you.
Yeah, but it downloads it to a folder, so I have to.
Yeah, I'm trying to crack that right now.
That's okay. Oh, this already has the same name. Let's can't open it because I have it somewhere else. Oh, I know where I did it. So I'll put it in. This was as of like a little while ago.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Just to kind of show you. So these were everybody's lineups.
Yes.
Okay. And then I clicked on here. Like contest analysis.
And now it looks right, doesn't it?
No, I had this right. No, I just didn't know exactly how to what to do with it. You know what I mean? Like no. This was all accurate. I just didn't know exactly how to deal with it, and how to handle it and how to look at it. So this is like actual fantasy points, actual own, and all that stuff. It's not really, it doesn't like project what these guys are simming, right? Like if this played out. But I as you were demonstrating with MMA, which I have to go back and look at it because I wasn't, I was paying attention to other stuff. You were identifying like things that people could root for and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll do that one day for like MMA, because that you can actually do that. But for baseball, it's not exactly so easy.
Yeah. So one thing that I have thought about doing is doing kind of like a resim type thing, but you were showing off SaberSim's ROI calcs and everything like that. And I think that stuff is so silly for baseball.
It is.
It's so hard to look at it and be like, oh yeah, I mean, if everything goes absolutely according to plan, then this person has like a 30,000%.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's just the way results distribute in baseball. It's like impossible.
Yeah, it just doesn't work, and it barely works in MMA, right? I mean, the only sport that it might work in is NBA.
Yes, that's right.
Everything else, just it's silly. So I don't know how valuable that is, but what I do think is valuable is being able to know kind of what you are fading and what you're looking for. So. Right. What I was doing with MMA the other day was after each fight, I would go in and I'd re-download and I'd be like, here's the fighters who have won, right? And I would look for the lineups that have those fighters individually. And it was like, okay, Horth was the first winner and she only scored like 82 or something. So it's like, obviously, after the first fight, if you have her, you're looking okay, but you're not looking great. But then as each fighter went down, it's like, okay, if you have these three hitters, I think it was like Phil Rowe, some underdog that won with a TKO, and then
Ochoa was good too, I think.
Yeah, and then what? Wellmaker, Wellbeing.
Yeah. Wellmaker was the only one that smashed on the whole.
As soon as you got those three, it was like, okay, well now you can see how many combinations have those three guys, right? Like, and then you can say what is. Like when you went down and said, all right, well, these three guys smashed and you isolate them in the info and the filters. So if you drop down the info filters, you can say like, do you want to view any players with specific players?
Right. So let's say, let's pick, that's an enter. Not a user. I want a user, you mean?
No, I meant players. So over to the right, you can see specific players. Yo, give me 2 minutes. I got an impromptu call.
It's okay. You know what? We could do this another time. I got to run. I'm exhausted.
That makes sense.
Okay. You're the man. Thank you so much. We'll continue more of this. And thanks everybody for showing up. This is again, this is me learning, and as I learn, I can help everybody else. So this was very, very helpful. I apologize to Margaret, and I will catch up to you later.
All good. See you later.
See you later, guys. All right, later.